The next step is to prep for glue. You should definitely do this on a new rim or on a rim that you've already cleaned your old glue from. This is where we take our emery cloth and we just rough up the rim. Go all the way around the rim like this, and then the next step is going to be to just wipe it off with a little bit of acetone. So with it sanded, there's a bunch of sand residue on there, and you want to get that off, and that's where the acetone comes into play. This is a step you're going to want to use the gloves again. You can get away with a little lighter duty glove or the same one. The acetone just isn't as harsh as the adhesive remover. Same technique, get a little on the rag, and then you just wipe the rim off, making sure there's no oils or dirt or anything on the rim. There's also a prep process. The tires, like the Vittoria, that have a coating on the base tape. Basically, I just like to rough it up and make sure that the glue's going to stick well. So for this, I'd use a clean piece of emery cloth or the sanding sponge. The final piece of prep on this type of base tape, I'd actually take a little bit of alcohol on a rag. The alcohol is fairly benign. It's rubbing alcohol, and you just go over the rim to make or over the base tape to make sure it's completely clean. And then once the base tape's clean, you're ready for glue. Something that's going to make it easier to get glue on the tire's base tape is to put a bit of air in the tire so that it rolls out and makes the base tape more easily accessible. So you don't need to put much in, just enough until the base tape rolls out towards you. So what we're going to do now is we're going to apply the first layer of glue to the tire and to the rim. The key is to do light layers and work it into the base tape. You don't want any glopping. The way to know if your base tape is going to take more than 2 layers of glue with the 24 hours in between is to pay attention to how it's looking, the color it is. You want it to take the color of the glue. The way to tell if you're going to need more than 2 layers on a rim is if the rim has a really deep V. Sometimes you want to build up that middle layer or that middle section of the rim so that it meets the base tape more effectively. You just want to paint it on. You want to be careful not to get it all over your side walls. You want to get towards the edges of the base tape because they have the most contact with the rim. So as you get back towards the valve stem, you can already see this part of the tire here is sucking up the glue, and it's changing from darker color to the lighter color, and you can see there are splotches of light here, and those are areas you're going to want to make sure and hit again on your second round after the tires had a chance to dry for 24 hours. You're also going to want to make sure you do a good job gluing around the valve stem. Generally that's an area that doesn't contact the rim as neatly as it should, so you want to make sure you build up a good amount of glue there so that it sticks. So this tire has to dry for 24 hours before the next step. Once that's dry and done, depending on the color of the base tape, the amount of glue, how it feels, you can decide if you're going to do a third or not. But likely after 2, for a road tire, you're going to be done. Just like the tire, we need to put a layer of glue on the rim. This is going to take basically 2 layers with 24 hours of drying in between, and then the third layer we're going to basically let dry for 10 minutes and then mount the tire to it. You want to make sure you're getting glue up on the edges too, because that's one of the areas that's the most impact on how well a tire is glued to the wheel. You don't want the layer to be too thick, as I said, on the tire, but same goes for the rim. It's much better to put more layers on, more thinner layers on, with drying time in between. So now this has to wait for 24 hours, and we'll be ready for our second layer.